Hello everybody and welcome to another Marvel Madness video, but this time we're talking about DC. I wanted to sit down and talk to my brothers Nin and Jqirus about the DC cinematic landscape and how we feel towards it and what we want from it. So I hope you guys will enjoy this little podcast type video, and we'll get back to regular Marvel Madness videos in the future. I hope you guys will enjoy it and have a blessed day. Leave a like if you liked the video.
Just in case somebody try to call me.
Okay! I have no idea how to start this, so I'm hoping that past Ruzu will do the whole intro thing and explain what we're doing. But essentially, just a quick rundown. I'm sitting here with my two brothers, Assassin Ultima. Go ahead and wave hi, Nin.
You're
hi, yeah. And my other brother, Jqirus. Yo, go ahead and say what's up, man.
Hey, man. It's me, Jqirus. Welcome back.
I, of course, am Ruzumakii, the face of Twitch and YouTube and comic book Twitter and every Twitter that you can think of that you could put me in. I'm the face of everything. I'm literally next up. I'm Himothy, essentially. That's what they call me on Twitter.
AKA the sexiest one in here.
Okay, well.
Oh.
You're gonna get me in
Sexy
trouble.
Hey, look at him. Look
at him. We're here to talk about one thing and one thing only. I know usually I do Marvel Madness, but today we're going to be DC Madness today because we're going to talk about the DC Universe. Now, for legal reasons, Mr. Gunn, all the opinions I say here is a lie. I never said these things. If they try to claim that I said I hated DC, in case you try to give me any roles, Wally West. Anyway, we're going to talk about DC and the state of DC and the future of DC and why DC is not as good as Marvel. I know I'm the Marvel Andy, and originally this video was gonna be recorded like a couple months ago when Black Adam came out, and we were gonna talk about how Black Adam was gonna save the DC universe.
I did not.
it would not have made too well if we had did it then. Let me tell you.
Yeah, needless to say, James Gunn and his I forgot what the other guy's name was. But essentially, they're screwing up. They fired Henry Cavill. They fired Gal Gadot. We already knew Ben Affleck wasn't coming back, but they're basically wiping the Snyder universe clean.
Yep.
So we're gonna talk about that. Yo, what do we think, boys? Why this motherfucker doing this?
Bro, the reset is coming, bro.
The reset is coming. I think they're just trying to pull a Flashpoint. Like how they did in the DC animated films, how they made Barry at the end of it run back and
just essentially reset everything. Yeah.
So I think that's what they're using the Flash movie in, because we haven't heard any news about Ezra Miller getting fired, even though Ezra should be the main motherfucker getting fired. Let's be honest.
Honestly, she should have been about the first one before anybody else. Truthfully,
my man's was literally being called a speedster on the news. They were saying, "Oh, we're trying to catch the speedster after he was committing crime after crime after crime all over the world." Like,
bro was on some.
I don't know what bro was on.
That man was off of Perk 9000.
And yet they fired Henry Cavill. Let's talk about him. Man, let's talk about Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill deserved to like be the main guy for DC. Superman is literally the face of DC Comics. Like, if you're not thinking about Batman, you're thinking about Superman when you think DC. And Superman is that guy. He's hope. He's peace. Whenever he goes evil, it's a big deal because Superman's the Boy Scout. He's the one that you look up to. He's the one that rallies the heroes. He's like Captain America, but with powers. He's like super useful, and he's a powerhouse. He's a god.
Way more useful.
Okay, let's not talk
the
about
man is still.
All right, let's not talk about Steve Rogers. He does have terrible takes a lot of the time, but that man can rally an army. If I was sitting behind Captain, we're not talking about Captain America. We're not talking about Marvel.
DC.
Okay. I just think it's really screwed up that Henry Cavill got fired after working so hard to return. He quit The Witcher just to return.
Yeah.
The Rock.
I was gonna say, and honestly, he was to me, he was killing it over there. I don't know if y'all watched The Witcher series, but he was doing fantastic over there.
The guy loved The Witcher. The guy loved the show, so it probably pained him a lot to Like,
yeah, because you know he did everything he could just to get that role, and then once he got that role, he made sure to like stick to the character to a T.
Yeah, he was.
So the fact that he like gave that up to
Yeah.
try to come back to be Superman just for them, like literally not even too long after, to be like, yeah, like he's been fired. It's just like, huh?
Bro, that shit came out of nowhere.
It came out of nowhere too. Like that shit just blew up. Like for me, all over Twitter. Then I started seeing like the articles and shit, and I know I saw y'all reaction on Twitter, but I was just like, bro, like,
Even
is this shit for real? Like I was like, are they for real?
You would think that it was gonna be like the start of something so great, because I don't know. I don't know if you saw the film yet, but at the end of the film, the end credit scene was Henry Cavill's Superman confronting.
Oh yeah, you talking about Black Adam?
Yeah,
I did see that.
And when that happened, literally, our theater, even in our small town, because me, Jqirus, and all of them, we live in a very like not popular place.
Yeah.
Even our theater erupted in joy when we saw Henry Cavill come back as Superman, and we don't even give a fuck about DC.
Right.
We like Marvel.
Right.
So the fact that a person can come to a role like Robert Downey Jr. did with Iron Man, like Chris Evans comes to Captain America, the fact that an actor can make someone
Just
erupt in
come
joy
alive.
for a film like Black Adam, which we were watching for, let's really be honest, we were watching for The Rock.
For
right?
The Rock,
Watching
the story of Black Adam is cool, but just the fact that
because
it's The
Mans
Rock
was
playing
hyping
it.
that shit up, and he was
Yeah.
running DC for months.
Yeah. Yo, for like, bro, I ain't never seen, bro. Other than like the fast shit, I ain't never seen him promote a film
Real
like
shit.
that much.
When you
Bro,
get
that's
The
just-
Rock on the film, he carries that franchise on his back.
Oh, what was his catchphrase?
The hierarchy about the hierarchy of the DC
hierarchy
universe
of
is about to
DC
change, and it did.
Yeah.
Real talk, stop playing with my boy Dwayne.
Hey, you know that gif I use all the time, boy. Let's go.
Let's go.
Is that all the time?
But I love. Hey, that's my favorite gif
The
of all
point
time,
is,
bro.
the Rock really brought something to the franchise, and for him to go out of his way to, he was like, I know what I have to do. To carry this franchise, because his goal was simple. We already knew what his goal was. To compete with Marvel, to compete with Feige. You don't compete with the Feige, but that's another thing. If anyone's gonna compete with the Feige, it's gonna be Dwayne, not James Gunn. It's gonna be Dwayne. Okay?
Yeah.
If anyone's gonna compete with the Feige, all right. So Dwayne went out of his way. Sorry, Mr. The Rock.
Mr. The Rock.
The Rock was going out of his way to push this as far as he could and bring back the Snyderverse. He was gonna do everything he could on his end, using his platform, using his ability and his acting ability as, well, Black Adam. And we all know he rocked the role.
Yeah.
He is Black Adam, right? So by bringing Henry Cavill in, you bring back everyone else. We're talking about Superman, who's the face of DC. Henry Cavill brings so much strength to the role, and also The Rock was smart about it. He worked off of the hype from the Snyder's Cut. The Snyder's Cut was what brought everyone back to DC.
Back to DC.
Because nobody was liking Justice League. Nobody was liking Dawn of Justice for Superman and Batman.
Now Snyder definitely put he
put his whole Snyder Ussy into that film.
Yeah, like nobody, like it was literally like 0 to 100, like 100 for Marvel before Snyder made that with DC, and then they kind of brought it back on the map. And like, I know, you know, you're a big Marvel guy and I like Marvel, but I like DC too, so it made me happy that
Real
DC
shit.
was essentially back on the map from Snyder's Cut.
Me and Jqirus grew up in the entirety of elementary school, middle school, high school, talking about how DC could do a little better.
Oh, they could do so much.
Bro, I always said the same thing. I'm like, DC has so much potential that it just doesn't know yet. Like, it just needs to get the right pieces. It needs the right director. You know, you get the right casting, and you know, you get the good story writers that stick with the comics of it, and I'm like, DC can really compete with Marvel. They just haven't really did it yet. But then when Snyder came, it's just like, okay,
in my opinion, their only real fuck up was with Dawn of Justice, Batman v Superman. That was their only real fuck up, and that's why they got so much shit, because they weren't capitalizing on one. Because you know why Marvel is so popular? Marvel release after release after release after release. They are with it. And they have the funds, but they are with it. And they haven't made a mistake. They haven't made a flop. And if they do make a quote-unquote flop, they still making millions in the bank.
And honestly, even their quote-unquote flops was like better than anything DC was putting out until Snyder came. So.
And then when Snyder came, and then they released the first cut of the film, mid. Didn't even go see it in theaters. And I see you two know, I go see every superhero movie in theaters, and I didn't see that movie in theaters.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I saw that on my Fire Stick.
I saw that on my PlayStation 4. And then Snyder Cut came out.
I saw it on the 7 Seas.
See? Okay, but when Snyder Cut came out, we all sat down. I don't know if Nin was there, but I know Jqirus was there. We all sat down in the call, and we watched it together, and we enjoyed it. We were engaged in the film, and it was really good. I liked it a lot when they tried to make Ben Affleck a leader, like his Batman, the leader of the team, even though it didn't really feel like he was Batman. And I feel like that's another thing they're fucking up. They were fucking up with Batman. I don't think they were making a good enough Batman. And it didn't help that that Batman was. That's what I think happened low key. I feel like it's the same thing that happened with Andrew Garfield. They didn't get their respect because of the previous owner of the role. Christian Bale had Batman before Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck had a very bad performance in. Well, it wasn't him. It was the writing for.
I was gonna say I don't think it was him, because I think he's a really good actor. He's a really good actor. I think it's just. Like you said, the writing and
Batman
how they tried to set it up with the Superman. Batman versus Superman. It just wasn't.
They tried to combine.
The idea was kind of there, but I don't know. It's like they were. It was missing. It was just missing like a really big aspect.
But you have to think about it also this way. What other films has DC put out? Aquaman, fantastic. Wonder Woman, fantastic. Shazam, fantastic. So it wasn't really a problem with their films. It was just that one film that's
just that one in particular.
And
see, that's a big one too for like a lot of DC fans, because like how you say like Superman, he's like that guy. It's like a lot of people would say that like Superman is the light, Batman is the darkness. They're both
exactly
like, the same size of the same coin. So it's like the fact that Superman was like up here, but because of how they did with Batman, Batman was just like he wasn't up there with Superman, and it wasn't a balance. So, and like I said, to a lot of people, that was like one of the most important films that they was, like one of the most hype ones they was ready for, because it's like Batman versus Superman. It was like, them like the two. These are the two top dogs in DC.
That was also another problem there. They introduced Batman of that universe in that film fighting Superman instead of working it up. They worked up Superman. That was a major fuck up, wasn't it, Jqirus?
Yeah, bro. They need to work up their characters.
Yeah, because like in that Batman vs Superman, they just threw him in. So like you said, like they worked up Superman with his films, and by the time he got there, everybody knew like, okay, like we're familiar with this guy, we know what it's about. But with Batman, that was the first time he was introduced in the films. Like he didn't really have his own films. At least in that universe,
they honestly introduced way too many characters in the film. They also introduced Doomsday. They introduced Lex Luthor. There was too many cooks in the kitchen. It was a Superman film where he was fighting 3 different antagonists. He was fighting Batman, he was fighting Doomsday, and he was fighting Lex Luthor. It just was not worth it in the end. And that's the biggest problem, is that the film, the casting was never the problem either. Because Lex Luthor in that film, oh my god, I can't even remember the actor's name, but he was a phenomenal
he embodied the role of Luthor, for real.
He was a different take on Lex Luthor. He was an asshole, but he was extremely intelligent, and you can tell. And that actor always does it, bro. Like, oh man, I wish
I have to look that guy up because he
Yeah,
did that role really good.
Yeah, I give him his just desserts. Say his name because he was good. And I think that's another problem is that the Snyderverse it never has a problem with its casting. They just do weird things with the characters. The Joker, Jared Leto Joker. I don't think Jared Leto was the problem. I think Gangster Joker was just really weird.
Yeah.
So the actor that played Lex Luthor in Dawn of Justice was Jesse Eisenberg.
Jesse Eisenberg is a good actor. I loved him in Now You See Me, and I loved him in that as well. Like he was like too smart for the group, and Now You See Me, he's too smart for Superman. And it really hurt. It really sucked because they also introduced Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot, and Gal Gadot.
But say man, all I got to say is them trailers for Wonder Woman when they first came out, but hey.
She got it.
Hey, I was just like, yeah, I'm definitely watching that.
She got
Good
it.
God, boy. Yeah,
she got that thing on her.
Boy, that thing.
That thing. And she's a fantastic actress. And the actress is extremely intelligent. And she be beating up gods, too. She be minking. She be minking. I think she was a perfect casting. That's why it sucks so much when they said that they're not coming back.
Right.
And yeah, they can.
Because to me, they like Wonder Woman, Superman, like to me, it's like they were nailing. Like they was just hitting it. I was just like, man, like they literally, they gonna do it, and then the news came out, and here we are.
And they get such a bad rep because of that very film. And that's why Ben Affleck, it sucks for Ben Affleck so much because notice how we reacted to Robert Pattinson Batman. We were skeptical, but when we watched the film, because of the writing, because of Robert Pattinson's performance as a young Bruce Wayne, and he was boxing.
Right.
Something in
the way. The Batman is an amazing film, and his theme is heat! His theme is heat! His theme is heat! Bro, do you think? Let me ask you guys a question.
That should get me chills just now, bro.
Let me ask you a question. Do you guys think that Batman v Superman would have been bad if we got that Batman film before Batman v Superman, or a few Batman films like that before Batman v Superman?
I think it would have been a lot better to me.
Yeah, bro.
Just because we would have had how we had a few Superman films on our belt, we would have had a few Batman films on our belt, and I also think it would have just made that film better because, like you said, how they introduced so many people in that one film. I think just from the build up of more additional Batmans before that. And then maybe it could change a little bit more Supermans, or maybe they come out with another Superman. They kind of bring in Luthor or Doomsday or whatever, and then you just slide into Batman v Superman with all that. I think just having that ammunition would have brought more firepower to that film.
I feel like that would have been the film to put as
that would have been. I think that would have been the DC film. That would have been okay.
And the worst part about it is that again, not capitalizing on stuff. James Gunn said that he wants to do a different Batman. Personally, I would have capitalized. You see, that's the problem. He wants to make something new. I understand he wants to make something new and fresh. But by taking out the stuff that people like, I don't know. Maybe he'll prove me wrong. But I feel like by taking
I hope
out
so for the sake of DC. Honestly, I hope so.
Because if you're not giving us what we like, picking out, take out Ryan Reynolds as Green Lantern, restart the Green Lanterns. Okay, we got it. We want Green Lanterns, right? We all want Green Lanterns.
Yes, we love Green Lantern.
We're gonna get to that later. We're gonna get to that later when we try to organize our own DC slots. Okay? But what I'm trying to say is that by taking out all the things that we like, which is Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, Henry Cavill's Superman, the hard work The Rock put in to revitalize the DC universe, and then saying we're not gonna put the Batman. We're not going to do the Joker. We're not going to do all the stuff that you guys like. We're going to reset everything. But we're going to keep Ezra Miller.
I
don't know. Man, just walked out the set for real. Hold on. Cut! Get your ass back on set.
Come on, back on set for what?
But nah, that shit is...
For tomfoolery? Why would
It
I
is
talk
kind of
about
OD,
separate Tom
like
Ford?
all the shit that Ezra did, and like she still got her job technically.
And it's very upsetting because he is a good Flash. I didn't mind him as Barry Allen. Like, I liked him as Barry Allen. Like, fuck you, Jqirus. I love the run.
The run is
The
run is
saucy
awful.
run.
Okay.
The saucy run. You know.
Okay, so do you like him as Barry Allen, or do you
Yes,
like?
I do. I like him as
I forgot
Barry
the
Allen.
other guy's name, but the one that does like the
TV
Netflix
show
series
Flash?
of the
Oh,
TV
yeah.
show.
Grant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So which one do you like better of the two
I
Flashes?
know, we can have a whole nother little podcast about that Flash show. But he's a good Flash. He's a good Barry.
I think they're both like. So I think the one for the TV show is a good Flash, but the one that plays the movie is a good Barry.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
I feel like Ezra is DC's answer to Spider-Man. If that makes sense. Like the young kid on the team. And
I fuck with that.
And I fuck with that idea a lot because Ezra's really funny as the Flash. He's a good Barry Allen. It's just, and I get it. He did some shady shit. I don't know the totality of everything he's done or said. I don't know the totality. If he's fired because of it, that's okay. If he's not, I don't know. Let Twitter handle it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna agree with anything he says.
Bro was terrorizing Hawaii, bro.
Bro, you know what's funny? Rennie texted. Rennie, I think I told Rennie about it. Rennie is all like, "Yeah, I think I heard a little bit about that. I don't want to talk about it." I'm like, "What's going on in Hawaii? What's going on in Hawaii?"
Hey.
But, I don't know, man. I just think that they could do a lot better with casting, and
I mean, they have to. I feel like they have to because of what they let go.
They let go phenomenal.
They let go of
phenomenal
like you said,
talent. Like they're people that were carrying
talent. Like people that was like slowly bringing DC back on the map. They just let all them go. So it's like you have to hit home runs on your next captain. Like everybody has to be like a banger. Because if anybody slacks up a little bit, I feel sorry for them because of what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I just think it's so weird. Why didn't they hire Snyder to run everything? If everybody loved the Snyder's cut, if everyone loved what was going on so far, I would have done what they're doing right now. Reset everything real fast, real quick, right? And then work your way towards...
Just work your way back up with those same...
Yeah, like with the Flash movie that's coming out, reset everything and keep everything that everyone likes and establish a phenomenal timeline.
I was gonna say, just have a better timeline and stuff, and just have like a better direction. Because that is one thing that, like, I know it's a DC thing, but that's one thing that makes Marvel real good. Is like they have really good, to me, like timeline, and like they know, like, okay, we're gonna release this, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. This gonna help build this up. Like, you know, by dropping this right here, it's gonna help build up this one, like 3 films down the line or whatever. So it's like DC could have easily did that, but just kept the same people because everybody loved the actors that they had. So to me, it's not like, I know you want to reset, but you ain't got to reset the casting. Like you said, just with the Flash movie coming out, that'll be the flashpoint that'll reset everything, kind of like he did in the comics and the animated series. How they had Flash reset everything, and then they brought, you know, they reset the timeline. They could have did the same thing with the films and just had the same actors that everybody loved and just have a better timeline and just have everything better organized and just releasing more films as well so that we can really get those character developments with the builder. So when we get films like Batman vs Superman, or even if they did like a Justice League and shit like that, it's like now we got the proper build up for all these characters. So now when these films come out, they banging, like they doing, like, you know, they probably gonna be up there with, you know, maybe like Avengers type shit, you know what I'm saying? So at least I feel, I don't know, like I like DC, and I always felt like they had that potential to really.
That's the problem with DC too. They always build up the same things. Like Marvel doesn't have that much of a reference when it comes to IRL films, but at first, like, they were working up individual characters. They weren't really building up to an Avengers, but now we only have one frame of reference. DC's had to retry so many times. With DC, I feel like it always builds up to one thing with their shows and their shared universes. All of them build up to one thing: Crisis on Infinite Earths. It's the best DC story. We understand that. It's one of the best DC stories. But I feel like let's talk timeline stuff now because we've already talked about casting and stuff. I feel like DC should instead build up towards an individual story, and I feel like the main character of DC. Now this is gonna sound fucked up. I know I'm gonna get judged heavily for this. Hal Jordan should be the main character of DC. Now, the reason why I say this, Jqirus, I have 4 words for you. Brightest day and blackest night. Oh yeah! Yeah!
Oh, if they did that, they can have my money.
Crossover in DC history. The only thing that's beating Brightest Day and Blackest Night is Dark Knight's Metal, and that was just made.
Yeah.
Fuck Infinite Worlds. Crisis on Infinite Worlds is good. I agree. It's good. But it's not as good as Dark Knight's Metal and Brightest Day and Blackest Night.
We need Green Lantern, bro.
Green Lantern, the Green Lantern mythos is like possibly like until they made Dark Knight's Metal with the Batmans coming in. Remember the Batman showing up and from the Dark Multiverse? That shit was crazy, right? But before that, the Lantern Corps are so fucking cool. The multiverse is cool and all.
Reason I got the DC.
But let's be honest, Marvel does better. I'm not gonna lie. Marvel does their multiverse better until they came out with the Batman stuff, right? With the dark multiverse and stuff. That was cool. I'm gonna get into a whole tangent about Dark
I ain't gonna lie,
Knight.
that shit
is
is
crazy.
cool as hell, though.
When the Batmans came in, they were like, Batman, Bruce, where are you? Then all the Batmans showed up. They said, I'm right here. At the same time, I was like,
Yeah, at the same time. Almost on like some Legion type shit.
I was like, huh? That was so cool. But Brightest Day and Blackest Night literally got me and Jqirus into DC Comics. Tell me if I'm wrong, Jqirus.
Yeah, that was it for me.
When, oh my god, bro, I can think of so many crazy shits that happened with Necron, with the whole, with the White Lanterns, Kyle Rayner, Guy Gardner, and when people were turning into Black Lanterns left and right, and when the other characters had to pick up lantern rings, when Barry Allen got the blue ring of hope, stop playing.
Yeah. I ain't gonna count. Done correctly, that shit would be fire as fuck, though.
That shit would be
that shit actually be. I probably go to the theater multiple times.
It was basically a zombie apocalypse. Everybody didn't know what to do. If you remembered something or if you were emotionally connected to a person, they were brought back with a Black Lantern ring. Then everybody was running for it was genocide, motherfucker. And the only way that you could save everyone was Green Lantern Jesus Kyle Rayner. Kyle Rayner. White Lanterns, crazy. How all the, oh my god. I know it wasn't even a part of it that much, but the Red Lantern Corps was literally my favorite thing about DC Comics. And when Supergirl got a Red Lantern ring, we talking Kryptonian with lantern power? Stop fucking playing with me.
And the red ones, they fuel off of rage and fury, right?
The rings are attached. The rings become your heart.
Yeah.
You threw up napalm. Tell me that isn't cool. I'll wait.
Shit's wicked.
Supergirl with the red one. God damn.
And she was a baddie too when she had it. I could think of numerous stories from DC. When Batman knew how to dismantle the Justice League.
Oh, the contingency plans? Bro.
Man.
To me, that ain't gonna count. That was one of my favorite, might be one of my favorite Batman movies of all time. Just knowing that, like, he could take out everybody in the Justice League if he needs to or wants
that
to.
Established, I think that story alone established why Batman was.
It's like goated. He was goated because and all of his plans, like, is like if he did them, there's nothing like the other person could do because he knew everything about them.
Literally made it so that the just and then at the end of the story, when they say like, okay, you made all these contingencies plans. What's the contingency plan for you, motherfucker? He said, the Justice League, bitch.
League.
I was like,
hey, when he said that, bro. He was like, but what's your contingency plan? I did have a plan.
The Justice League. And low key, you can't even stop me there.
Oh, so
I ain't gonna count though. He said it's the Justice League, but it's like, if you think about it, if Batman did go rogue, he would just use the contingency plans on everybody.
No, shut up, because we already have the answer to that. Dark Knight's Metal.
Right.
Batman that killed Aquaman. Batman that killed Superman. It was literally a Doomsday Batman. Batman with Doomsday's powers.
Yeah, with Doomsday, like the virus shit that he had made.
Batman with the Flash's power. Red Deaths.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, that Batman, yeah, when he stole the what was it, the Speed Force
and
from
he
Barry,
has bats, motherfucker,
and he has bats in his shit, like when he's draining bread. That Batman is OD, yeah. Shit, the Batman who laughs. The Batman who laughs, bro.
The thing is that the Batman who laughs is a normal motherfucker.
Right.
And he's still...
He a normal motherfucker to us, but shit.
He a normal motherfucker, but he became God.
He God, yeah.
mm-hmm.
He became evil God. He became Satan.
Like, if you look at his kill count and then everything he did up to that point. Because I'm sitting there and I'm just like,
that motherfucker was fucked up in his story. He gave Superman a kryptonite that would, and he gave his son.
Yeah.
He gave his son and Superman a kryptonite that would make them kill Lois and each other.
And each other, yep.
Jesus.
Need I say more?
That Batman was... I don't even know if it's a word enough to do that one justice, honestly.
I'm just saying, if DC were to do a story, if I was running DC, which I'm not, sadly, but if I was running DC, I would like incorporate little breadcrumbs, and I would make a plan, because Marvel didn't really have a plan. They didn't think it was gonna do super well, but let's think about it like this, right? If Infinity War, up to from Iron Man all the way to Endgame, was one story arc, right? Was one saga. One comic, like 10 issue comic book crossover event, then I would make it so that DC, not only am I making one saga, but while I'm making that saga, I'm putting little breadcrumbs for the next saga. I would go Blackest Night, then Infinite Crisis, then Dark Knight's Metal, or put Dark Knight's Metal in between. I don't care, but that would have been super good. That would be super good if they did it like that. Because one, Blackest Night, Brightest Day, first of all, perfect name for a part 2. Perfect name for a part. Blackest Night for the first one, Brightest Day for the second one. Stop playing. And Hal Jordan is perfect for that, like, main character, starter main character type deal. Redeem Hal Jordan. Make it so that in the middle of the films, like we got Civil War, how the Avengers broke up, make it so that it's the story where Hal Jordan, do you guys remember, I don't know if you guys read this, when Hal Jordan's Coast City exploded, and then Hal Jordan went on a killing spree and got taken over by the demon, by not demon Parallax, but the embodiment of fear Parallax.
Yeah,
and redeem him. Redeem his character.
Redemption story.
That would have been would be super good.
That would be.
It would be fire.
That would be crazy, and I wonder if they ever like thought of him.
That's
like,
what's
in
weird.
The, in
that's
the, in the universe.
I think that's the problem. I think that DC, like, the mentality is you don't want to make a character like Hal Jordan the main character, or Jon Stewart the main character, or any of the Green Lanterns the main character. You want to make one of the Trinity the main characters. You want to make Wonder Woman, Superman, or Batman the main characters of the story.
Yeah.
But if you do it with Hal Jordan, not only do you have the perfect redemption story in mind, which is what made the MCU's Iron Man so popular. It was not just a redemption story for Iron Man, but it was a Robert Downey Jr. redemption story as well.
Yeah.
Both were suffering with alcoholism and addiction, and yet they come back on top and stop being the asshole, and then they become the most notable character in comic book history, movie character history, or one of, you could do the same with Hal Jordan. Not only is it a redemption arc for the character of Hal Jordan in the story, but it is for his movies. We all know how bad Ryan Reynolds was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately. Yeah.
I don't know. I think that would be perfect. What do you guys think? What do you guys want adapted, if anything?
I mean, I ain't gonna cap. I'm with that. Honestly, 100%.
I mean, obviously, Dark Side War would be nice.
I'm with anything Green Lantern, bro.
Yeah, bro. The Green Lantern Corps is the bread and butter for me.
Yeah. I think that would be crazy, like
the
seeing
Justice League
him,
is cool,
so
but-
for real. Like
The Justice League is cool, but the Green Lantern Corps and the other corps, like the other Lantern Corps, are such a vital part of DC. They're a huge group. So if you get them, and they have amazing stories, spacefaring stories, and the best part about them, how many Green Lanterns are there? Main Green Lanterns from Earth. You got Guy Gardner, John Stewart, Hal Jordan, Kyle Rayner. We even got 2 new ones I don't even know the fucking names of.
Yeah.
Jessica Cruz or some shit. You have so many characters that you can work with, and I'm not saying make a Justice League of Green Lanterns, but make the Justice League the side characters. Make it Hal's side piece, but make the main focus Hal Jordan. Is what I'm saying. And you can build up others' characters, Aquaman, and then each of those characters, you know what they did? You know the best part about Avengers and the Marvel Universe? What is the one thing they came in contact with in every major film? An Infinity Stone. So what do? Make it so those characters come in contact with Lantern cores or some shit like that.
yeah,
No breadcrumbs.
like introduce kind of like a new one each time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Superman's off on a planet somewhere, or Supergirl would be better. Supergirl is off on a planet trying to save these people. What's she come in contact with? With a Red Lantern thingamajig, she gets the power of rage. She loses control of her powers. What does she do? Oh, she has to go to Guy Gardner about it, because apparently Guy Gardner has come in contact with the Red Lantern Corps ring before. Perfect. I don't know. I feel like that's how it should work.
I have hope because of how much I love DC, but it's just like, man, like he's on a very thin line.
I
to
will
me.
say this, James Gunn, look at me. I said, look at me. I said, look at me. If you make John Stewart or Guy Gardner or Kyle Rayner the main character of the Green Lantern franchise, I will fuck you up personally. Hal Jordan, baby. I don't care who you cast as Hal Jordan, as long as they're a good actor. I don't care. I don't care. Look me in the eye.
I wouldn't mind Jon Stewart.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm gonna be real. I don't know. Like
John Stewart is not.
If you're gonna do like a main character thing,
it has to be Hal Jordan.
or you gonna have like one person that you want to focus on, it has to be Hal Jordan.
Yeah, it has to be Hal Jordan. I wouldn't mind.
I wouldn't mind a movie centered on Jon Stewart, or better yet, do what the DC movies, like the animated films, did. Because I would love to see Jon Stewart be a prominent member of the Justice League instead of Hal Jordan, and Hal Jordan focused on the Green Lantern shit. I always thought that he was better at the Green Lantern shit than being a member of the Justice League.
I mean, the Justice League. Yeah, I can get behind that. You know?
I can get behind Jon Stewart being a part of the
Justice
Justice League.
Stewart being in the Justice League.
He's
like you
smart,
said,
he's intelligent, and he's smart, intelligent, and he's a natural leader.
Yeah.
So I feel like Jon Stewart, and he's a good team player. I love Jon Stewart in. He was the Green Lantern for Justice League, the animated series, Unlimited.
Yeah.
And he
Unlimited.
was great.
Yeah.
So I feel like Jon Stewart being a part of the Justice
I ain't gonna lie,
League.
him and the Martian in Unlimited, they was I love them as a duo.
The biggest thing is that DC has a problem with also when you go to see the films. That when I was watching, when I heard the response of Black Adam, it made me so sad because they weren't saying the film is phenomenal, we loved everything about it. We're hearing, yeah, I mean, when I turned my brain off, it was a pretty okay film.
Yeah.
I thought Black Adam was really great, but you're not really hearing that. The reason why I think Black Adam is great, it's not even because of the contents of the movie. Sure, the action was good. The writing was,
Yeah.
And that's not what I want to say after I come out of a film. I want to say, dude,
like
that
phenomenal.
was a good way to tell the story of Black Adam.
Yeah.
Just like I come out of like a Marvel film, I'm like, Iron Man not so much, but when I come out of an Iron Man film, I come out feeling great. I feel good after watching Iron Man film. When I come out of No Way Home, tell me I wasn't busting. I didn't mean it like that. But you know what I mean?
got you.
Nah, that's how you meant it, bro. That's how you was.
That's how he was, yeah.
That's how you was.
Oh man, he was coming out the theater leaking, bro.
Me and Jairus have seen like so many Marvel films together, and Jairus always sees me come out like always like, man, let me tell you something, man. These films are so good to me, and I just want them done justice. Like DC is good. I don't want people to think that I hate DC, but the reason why I rag on it so much is because it has the potential to be better.
Yeah.
The comics have a potential to be better. The movies have a potential to be better. Their animated films got it. I can't hate.
Yeah. Now they animated films is kind of what got me into it, truthfully.
And they should have
done what got me into reading
the way that they did the
comics
animated
and
films
stuff.
would have been done so much better if they had like a more of a bigger budget. But
Yeah.
but they did it with what they could. That's the point.
Yeah.
They did it with what they could, and it was an enjoyable experience to watch a universe of films come together. Teen Titans, great. The only thing the reason why it was so weird to me was because there were so many time skips, new team members. We don't know how those team members got into those teams. Jon Stewart was on the Justice League film, or the Superman film, in the Superman, Death of Superman film and stuff. And he was just there. I didn't see how Hawkman got into the team. I didn't see how Martian Manhunter got into the team. But it didn't matter to me because the film was good either way.
Mm-hmm.
I would have loved to see those things, but you know, it is what it is. So I really hope, in conclusion, that DC can do a little bit better. But right now, it's a dumpster fire because of James Gunn.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's in fucking shambles. Like, you can see the fire from here, high key.
I really hope you can, bro.
You really hope you can? Yeah.
I hope the DC event that comes up soon, man. I really hope he blow us away, because if it's mid, like,
if a single one of them are mid, it's
if it's mid,
because
it's just...
right now the perfect way to describe it is that there's piranhas in the water. The audience are piranhas, and they just need a drop of blood.
That's why I said earlier, like, James Gunn is on, like, I got hope, but he's on a very thin line.
Because you fired our babies. Let's be honest. Henry Cavill. You didn't fire Jason Momoa. We hear that he's working on a project. But Jason Momoa, and the fact, oh man, we didn't even talk about the fact that they didn't fire Amber Heard. Whatever.
I mean,
whatever. They fired Gal Gadot, which, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, I don't even, bruh.
It's Gal Gadot. You don't fire. You see, that's.
I'm gonna be real. That was like one of the few times in my life where I was just like, damn, like, I'm actually into fucking Wonder Woman,
bro. You know what? I was gonna conclude this video on a high note, like, for DC, but fuck DC. All right, listen. Listen. Hey, Gal Gadot, Henry Cavill, everyone that got fired from DC, basically. Listen, Marvel's looking for actors. And we'll treat you way better. Let me tell you something, baby. Anyway, that's been Marvel Madness, because fuck DC. I've been here with Jqirus. Guys, go ahead and plug your socials real quick.
It's JQIRUS on everything.
Nick, plug your stuff.
I ain't gonna lie, I thought you were gonna say did. Yeah, hey, it's Assassin Ultima on all social media platforms, man. If you need help spelling that, it's ass in Ultima.
Ass in.
But hey, man, all over social media, man. Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, all of it, man. At Assassin Ultima, you'll find me. I know they'll probably have it spelled out over me, hopefully. So.
JQIRUS.
if you guys like this podcast format, I might have Nin and Jqirus back for more Marvel Madness podcast. Probably, maybe.
I ain't gonna lie, I do miss doing podcasts.
Yeah,
man.
we need to.
It's been a long time since I've been on something like this.
We gotta bring it back, baby. If you guys like the video, make sure you like and subscribe and whatever, do all that shit. We're gonna go make fun of DC somewhere else. So do that with you. And also,
hey, here's the hope when DC comes back to prominence. If not,
if I see any of you DC dick writers in my chat, my comment section, I'll fight y'all. I don't care. It's big Marvel, baby. It's Marvel gang in this bitch. Ain't that right, Gango?
Yeah.
Hey, look, man. Hey, look. If there's any DC hopers in the comments, man, just go ahead and hit the hashtag hope for DC, man.
Hashtag hope for DC.
If you ride with DC, hashtag hope for DC, man. Hope for DC.
Hope for DC. Hope for James Gunn.
Hope for James Gunn.
Hope for DC. Hope for change.
In all seriousness, we do love DC a lot, but
yeah. They got a lot of work to do, and they got a lot of mess to clean up.
Give me Green Lantern or die.
So don't hashtag. You gonna have the whole comment section on TOS for real.
Anyway, that's been us. We'll see you guys next time on Marvel Madness.
I really gotta pee.